This is the first public audience that's ever heard this also. What happened?
Well, Dave and I have done quite a bit of stuff together in the last year and a half with a motorcycle that I have called Risen. I don't know if a lot of you seen it, but you've seen it. Well, when you see it next time, we redid the whole back end. I spent another $20-some thousand on it to bring God to people, Jesus. It's a story of crucifixion and resurrection. If you've never seen it, just Google R-I-Z-E-N, Risen Harley Davidson, and it'll grab you and make you think about what Jesus did for us and why we're here, what our purpose is. And with that being said, last year I led the Tomahawk fall ride with it. I don't know if you've seen it, but I led the ride in front of the Harley Davidson semi. The only people that were in front of me was 8 state troopers and the CFO, CEO, and a couple of those people, but I was by myself there. So as God leading the parade basically through on that bike, and it's pretty awesome. What me and my cousin built a year and a half ago, the first 4 shows, we got 11 first place trophies with it. Ever since then, I turned down over 200 trophies because of it, and I tell them, and they ask me every time, they said, if you're not about winning trophies, what are you about? They ask it every time, because I turn down trophies that tall. I don't want them. I don't believe in having things in life that make people think that you're higher than them or you're better than them at all. So I tell them it's real simple. Bike was built for awareness, for people to be aware of what Christ did for us, and also be able to help people understand what their life could be or should be with God within them, without them. With that being said, I've joined in partnership with Keith, Bubba Jr., Troutman for the Tomahawk Fall Ride, which Bubba Troutman is the one that started all of it in 1991. Bubba was a person basically like Dave, long hair, long beard, had tattoos all over, big biker enthusiast, but lived for God. And he died 2 years ago he was 2 weeks from a pacemaker, getting a pacemaker, and died. He weighed 270 pounds, 6'3", and is a very giving person, just like Al. He was real similar to Al, giving people things that he didn't really need, and that he wanted to give out of his heart, not just to give. But with that being said, this year's a whole new venue that I've come to the table in partnership with Bubba's Campground. Next year it will be called Camp Bubba's Resort and Event Center. We're taking it a whole different meaning, so we're turning it into a resort and event center. And I've got a bunch of different businesses already that want to display construction equipment, sales there, and all different things like that, and be able to utilize the property for what it's meant to be. And right now we have, this time, Bubba's party will have over 140 live bands, entertainers, magic shows, and various other live acts. It'll be the biggest show ever done in Tomahawk, ever done in the Midwest. And what it is, we're going to do a time to remember and honor the King of Tomahawk Fall Ride, Bubba Troutman. Be able to honor him starting that thing, and his son continuing. His son's 38 years old, and he's taken on the responsibility to carry on what his father built, to be able to be proud of what his dad brought to Tomahawk and still is going. And it's a big part of MDA. There's 2 reasons why I got involved in it. One is the MDA, which my aunt was a poster child in 1946. Second reason is that I'm a motorcycle enthusiast. I've got a lot of motorcycles, right, Dave? I build a lot of motorcycles. I build custom bikes and a lot of other things. I got 9 different businesses that I own, and these 2 as well, so I got 11. But anyway, this year we're covering over 120 acres. We bought another a little over 70 acres, almost 80 acres 2 weeks ago. We closed on it. We're looking to close on another 120 acres by end of June. So we want to end up with 240, 250 acres to do all the things that we want to bring to Tomahawk, and bring Tomahawk and put it on the map as not only a tourist attraction, but a place that people can see and understand that Wisconsin's got some pretty cool places that they can visit, be a part of, come to, and have some fun. We're doing a full-blown motorcycle show there. That'll have have cash prizes, awards, and plaques. So everybody that brings a bike is gonna get at least a plaque, and possibly winning money. So it's cash prizes on top of plaques and trophies. We're doing a car and truck show there as well. That'll be, and we're looking at having 7 or 6 of the Fast and Furious cars there, which a friend of mine owns them all in Port Washington. And we've got 42 cars there alone that we're looking at bringing from the Fast and Furious movies and some other movie sets from around the movie industry, California and Asia and stuff. There's some of the cars were in movies there. So we're looking at bringing some of the cars there on Sunday to show people, you know, right up front what them cars were, like the black Charger that you all seen. How many seen that movie, Fast and Furious? How many seen them all? Okay. How many seen it 2nd through 7? Okay, you remember the black Charger and the blue Porsche with the Puerto Rican driving it? Well, that black Charger is 1,600 horse to the rear wheels. To give you an idea. It's twin turbocharged, racing boat engine in it. We've had it on Jay Leno garage already. Jay Leno, when he drove it, I told him, I said, I think you need rubber bands around your pants, Jay. And what are you talking about? That's because you're gonna end up shitting your pants and it's gonna be all over the floor. When you hit the throttle on this thing, because it's 1,600 horse. It ain't like the cars you drive in your shed. This thing's got real power, and when you nail it, it's hang on. And Jay loved it. He's just like, this thing's nuts. I said, we got more. We got a 70 CUDA, that's 1,400 horse, all carbon fiber. We got a new Mustang GT350R, that's 800 horse to rear wheel. And if you Google speedcore.com, you'll see all of them. It's speedcore.com. And when you Google it, you'll see some awesome cars. They're anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million each. And I'm involved in all of it as a marketing director for them.
Who was it? Wasn't Jay Leno on the car? They rolled it with the Dodge car?
That was another guy. That was a guy that, actually the guy was retired, and it was they rolled it completely over.
Yeah, they rolled it a few times.
That wasn't long ago. That was last year. So Jay got a ride, but he rolled it not, you know, but when he got in that Charger, he was just like, this thing's nuts, the power. I mean, you hit it in 2nd gear and just, you hang on. But I'm involved in some real fun things with some real great people that are all positive and want to show their stuff to the world of what the world needs to see and understand, you know, what we're here for, you know, help one another. So the other things that we're doing bar stool races. I don't know if you ever seen one of them. Anybody ever seen a bar stool race? Is that kind of crazy? Well, I got 3 of them. Dave's seen them. I got one that's 18 horse, a V20 in it that does wheelies from here to the next road. That's insane. That I bought from a guy that's 75 years old in Flagstaff, Arizona. Him and a buddy has decided to build 2 of them, not just one, to try it. And he's got a bar in Flagstaff, and they built a track inside of the bar, inside of the building, to race these crazy things, and it didn't take off. So he had it sitting in his garage for 3.5 years, and he had it on Craigslist, and I called him, and I got to talking to him, and I knew some people that he knew in Arizona. I used to live in Arizona, in Scottsdale and Phoenix, in that area. And so we got talking, and we had some mutual friends, and I ended up buying it and getting it shipped all the way from Arizona, which was real. It took a few phone calls to get something like that shipped. Everybody's afraid to ship it, but anyway, it's pretty cool, and it's going to be at Bubba's Campground, and Keith's going to use it. Keith, Bubba Jr. is going to use it to drive around and check on people. I told him, bullshit, you're going to use it to do wheelies and have fun, and that's exactly what he's going to use it for. So I bought it basically to donate to him for the campground. He's got a cool set of wheels just to have fun with. So with that being said, we got a custom, Jeff's Custom Painting, that's going to be doing custom pinstriping right on site every day for 7 days straight. The other thing that we did, we took it from a Friday, basically a Thursday, Friday, Saturday event to Monday through Sunday. We have something going on every single day. From Monday, we have Customer Appreciation Day and Evening, and that consists of customers, past and present. It consists of sponsors, donors, volunteers, and past campers and vendors. That is a party that we supply all the food, all the drinks, all the music, free. And we have drawings, raffles that we'll give away probably $2,500 worth of stuff that night during the raffle time to be able to show appreciation back to everybody that's been involved throughout the years. And we have more vendors, more merchandise, we have helicopter rides, you know, to see Tomahawk from the air and experience the North Woods for a lot of people that's never been in that area. That we got some really cool helicopters that'll take them up, fly all throughout that area for like a 20-minute ride, so they can see all the bikes driving up down the highways and all the campgrounds and everything that's going on in the whole area, because the whole area is all part of the Tomahawk Fall Ride. Who's never been there? Who's been there? What do y'all think of it? Pretty cool deal?
And it's not just for motorcyclists, it's for.
Last year they figured there was over 40,000 motorcycles and over 100,000 people. With a venue that I've worked on and helped create, basically created, we're expecting probably 70 to 80,000 motorcycles, because we're giving people more things to do every day, and to give them something for hope and what purpose to come. Because that's the biggest thing that I'm involved in. What I do for a living is a bunch of different things. One is I do auctioneering in all of the United States, Canada, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. And I represent in partnership with the largest privately owned auction company in North America. And we do about $800 million in sales. We got our own company jets, so that's how we get to work when we go, instead of driving around because we ain't got time to be traveling on the road. So that's what we do for a living. You know, so this is all basically a passion that's on my heart, to be able to bring these type things and create these type of events so more people come and understand the motorcycles, why we're motorcyclists. For one, we're trying to get the millenniums to get off bicycles and start riding motorcycles. I've had the same meeting with Harley Davidson, and I told Willie G, I said, Willie, I said, I rode motorcycle mini bikes at 5 years old on, and I've had probably over 400 of them. And I said, so I have a big passion for motorcycles, and right now I probably got 40 of them, bikes. Just to give you an idea. So, but I sell them, trade them, swap them, do whatever. And I get all my friends riding them, which years ago they all rode all different bikes, and now, you know, so I don't look at Harley, I don't look at Honda, I don't look at none of that. I just look at, as long as people are riding bikes, that's a great thing, instead of bicycles, which is okay too. But we need to get more people back on bikes and be able to make some noise on the road. And that's where I come in, to be able to encourage people to see what the life of a motorcycle is. It's freedom on the road. That's how I look at it. I'm sure you do too. When you ride your bike on the road, there's nothing like a car, a convertible don't come close, or nothing else. It's the freedom of riding down the highway, am I right?
Right.
Is that what you all agree?
Yeah.
It's all about freedom. And everything else can go away in our mind when we're driving them, and be able to enjoy nature. Mother Nature has to offer as you're driving down the road. So that's some of the things that I'm doing there with that.
I'm gonna have you talk to my wife.
Get the bike?
Yeah.
She said I'm gonna get one over her dead body.
Oh, yeah.
I said, be careful how you say this.
Yeah. So we've got a few other people that's involved with, well, actually a bunch of other people that's involved with what the vision is and how we're gonna get there, and who's helping to get us there, and who's all part of this, which is a great thing. Bob's Bike Dreams, Bob Hiller, which is very good friends of Dave. Have anybody been to Bob Hiller's place?
Yeah.
Nobody, who hasn't been there? You've never been there?
Ooh.
You need to come there. He's got a museum. The guy's a fantastic guy, hard-working guy. He builds custom motorcycle sculptures, and they're out of this world. He's got 400 of them right now. He's never sold one in 10 years. He keeps making them, but he knows how. He's a great artist, but he doesn't know how to market them, doesn't know how to sell them, that type of thing. So I'm bringing him to Tomahawk. I'm bringing him to Sturgis to help him out, to get him off the ground. We got meetings with Michael, with Bubba, with Full Throttle Saloon. When I get there, Dave and I's going there in June, right? And we're taking some with us to be able to show them that this guy's an artist, and he's got a museum, and it's one of the greatest hidden secrets in the Chippewa Valley. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys have seen it, agree, right? Is it amazing?
Better than that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got on a ceiling like in here, which is shops like 3 times as big as this. There's little ornaments, motorcycle ornaments they make, and he sells them for $5, or he gives them to any veteran free.
We got one out in our van if you wanna see it.
It's great, ain't it? Is that pretty cool? But he builds some really cool stuff, and he builds Harley Davidson's wooden trunks that are made out of 100-year-old plus wood from barns that he tears around throughout the Chippewa Valley. And he's the only one authorized to put Harley Davidson's on all his trunks. So we're gonna have that type stuff at Tomahawk and Sturgis to be able to offer to people, to be able to take home and buy them. And the money, what he's doing with all the money, he's trying to raise enough money to build a homeless shelter in Eau Claire. To be able to help the homeless in need, which we have plenty of them today, to have a place to stay, have a place to learn something, because we want to build a workshop there where they're not just homeless. We take them in, whoever it may be, train them so they can get a job when they get out, or have somewhat of a talent when they get out to be able to find a job to do something. Them are the type of things that I'm involved in. Them are the types of things that I have a vision for, be able to help people in need to get back on their feet. Because we know a lot of them with PSD and all that can't cope with that every day. It's really tough. You know, for people that, you know, had that happen to them, you know, one day they're good, the next day they're not. I got a son that we're doing a deal. How many of you have heard of Life Fest?
Oh, yeah.
You know what Life Fest is? You know what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I just become the director of promotions for Life Fest also, this week. Life Fest, to give you an idea, if you guys want to write this down, it's LIFEST, and Google it. It's the biggest concert, music concert in North America. Okay? That's pretty cool, ain't it? Is it awesome?
How'd you spell that?
LIFEST, Life Fest, 2019, that's all you gotta do. Well, a guy by the name of Bob Lynn started it in 1990. He, and what his message is, to give you an idea, last year they had 140 live bands, okay, in 4 days in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So this is all neighbors that are doing these things because they know that people have a need and need to find what their purpose is in life, because I've asked over 400 people in the last 2 months what their purpose is in life. And 99% of them never answer because they don't know. And the other percent answers it wrong. And when they answer it, they say, my purpose in life is to raise my kids, this and that, this and that. And I said, that should not be your purpose. Your purpose should be helping others that are in greater need than you and I, to be able to live a life that they deserve. That's why I'm involved in MDA a lot, to be able to help them kids, because there's a lot of them, to be able to help them be able to possibly walk, or at least have the ability to do it, or be able to get some nice wheelchairs for them or whatever they need. So half of what we make there goes to MDA this year. Just to give you an idea. It's a big check. And that's on my heart, to help those kids and adults both that have MDA to be able to have something to look forward to and have some money to buy some things that they need. Right, Dave? Dave knows how I am. You know, so I put the effort and time and help build all these things to be able to help those type kids and adults, both that have MDA all their life, because they don't go away. And to be able to help them at least be able to enjoy the life that they live. Because if you see them in their wheelchairs, you never see them bitch or complain like a lot of us do. And we don't stub our toe in it, it hurts. And we look at them and they can't even feel the toes. So that's the kind of thing why I'm involved. So, but the other thing that I'm looking at is the U.S. Armed Forces, the Marines, Navy, everybody involved, Army, to be a part of this thing this year. And the part that I want to do is to be able to have every military branch set up there with tanks, Humvees, whatever it may be, their trailers and everything else, and every force there, because I want to do an honorary tribute to each military group and that is from you know, any war, that type of thing, and I wanna do a Marines and Army on Tuesday, and have everybody that can be involved with the Marine Corps and Army, and do a tribute to them on that day, on our main stages. And have some generals get up on stage, some corporals get up on stage, and talk about the past, present, and future of the American soldier. Then on Thursday, I want to do the same thing, but it'll be the Air Force and the Navy on Thursday. So we have all the Air Force and Navy, whoever we can get to come, set up all their trailers, you know, maybe some planes or part of planes, different pieces, to be able to show Tomahawk and all the people that come. This year we're figuring anywhere from 150 to 200,000 people. And I've told all the military guys that I've been with already, Dave and I have been meeting with some, that this is the perfect recruiting ground for the United States military. With 150,000 people coming through there, and with them going to fairgrounds, where there's 5,000 people, 7,500, and they spend 3-4 days there, and they might recruit 1 or 2 people if they're lucky. If they're lucky. With what we create, we figure they got a captive audience that'll be able to, that they can talk to and have time to talk to for the amount of time they'll be there, and they'll get more out of it. Plus, they'll be able to show all the people that come where the military was, where the military is, and hopefully where the military is going. So these are the purposes and reasons why I'm involved with the Tomahawk Call Ride. Because believe me, I'm a very busy person, as Dave knows it, that I really don't have the time, but I've taken the time every day to call people, get people involved, find what their purpose is, and so it's driven purpose for all the things that it stands for, and to be able to honor the military the way they need to be. And nobody's ever done it. So that's where I'm at. Like I say, if any of you guys, you can get a hold of me, want to talk to me about it later, Dave's got all my information.
If I can just add, we're also looking at living legacy, like Al mentioned, the sign that he'd like to put up for his dad and uncle. Here's some samples of living legacy, if you just want to look at this. This is a very working draft of an autobiography that Bill Booyah is doing with Wings Liberty for myself. So if you just want to look at some of the signs that are already up. And another thing we've talked about is strong affiliation. A portion of all the proceeds goes to veterans, and Dina's asked me where should some of that go, you know, and of course there's no other place that I can think of that's just spiritually inspiring, spiritually hallowed as the Highgrounds and Highgrounds Camp Victory. Is that correct? Highgrounds Camp Victory. So that's one of the resources we're looking at. We're looking at some other, but to really put a finishing touch on this, John Weiler, who's the executive director of the Highgrounds, by the way, is from Merrill. And he's going to be one of the main speakers on Saturday, May 26th, or May 25th, when they hopefully announce the 4th National Veteran Cemetery is going to be announced in Tomahawk, we think. The name of the cemetery, and Warrior is one of the names, in some way including the name Warrior. But John Weiler is the executive director originally from Merrill. And then we've talked about Miracle Mountain Motorcycle Monument and a walking path, and Native Americans. And Dean has got so much on his plate. Guys like that inspire us. We need more help. And for you to record this, Dennis and Bill, is going to be very important. But guys like this are geniuses. But guys like this do not succeed unless we have people. Look at all the people that helped you over the years, Al. Volunteering, coming to your hunts, and I had to almost show him how to shoot a deer a couple of years ago.
These are good.
But what we're doing at that Miracle Mile motorcycle, we're building a monument at the entranceway when you come in to, it'll be called Camp Bubba's the first of the year. When you come in there, it'll be 24 feet high, 24 feet wide, and we've got 3 bikes that we've already got slated for, that we built 2 already, got a 3rd one. Dave's got a bike at his house like it, that we built. Anyway, so there'll be a chopper on the very top of the mountain. There'll be a military bike showing the Korean War on the left side, and then we're looking at possibly a Vietnam bike on the right side, and then possibly 2 more military tribute bikes on the left and right side of it. And right in the center, about 22 feet down, Dave and I are going out to Crazy Horse and get a trailer load of flat rock to be able to create a waterfall coming off that from Crazy Horse Mountain. And it'll have a pond in the bottom of it where it'll drop down and recirculate. So that's going to be the entranceway, that Miracle Mile, right?
Yep.
And Dave's come up with that idea. That was his idea with the Miracle Mile bike, and it's a great idea. We've already got, like I say, 3 of the bikes built. We'll have 5 when we're done within the next less than a month. So if you got any motorcycle tanks, fat bob tanks, or fenders, that's what we're in the need of now to finish up the bikes that we're building. There's some fat bob tanks and wide fenders, and Bob Heller does a fantastic job of doing these tribute bikes, which Dave's got one sitting right in front of his house on a mountain of rock. And he's got the sign there with it. What's your sign about?
It's just, my unit was overrun in Vietnam, October 9, 1969. I got a sign that talks about Marines and on all veterans, our life. Why we work so hard is we can never compensate for some of the survivor's guilt some of us have. I mean, we can never do enough. We can never do enough, can we, Al? Can we, Bob? I mean, and Homefront Heroes, Mike, we can never, Sergeant Major, we can never do enough to help people. But anyway, this is just wonderful. Dennis, are we getting beyond your time frame here? Okay,
So
okay.
you can kind of see where we're coming from and where we're going. And you know, where it was in the past. Tomahawk Fall Ride I got involved in 2 years ago. I got more involved in it last year, and this year I got completely involved in it. Because I seen the things when I drove through there and just had a vision of what could be done different. And be able to bring more people there and understand what the Tomahawk ride was meant to be and still be to come. So give people more to do and be able to, and there's some unique places around Tomahawk. So we're creating places to be and see while you're in Tomahawk. So I'm doing basically like a roadmap that we're building. And I've got some people that work for me that do this stuff, that's designing. I'm giving them ideas, they're laying it out. So when you come to Bubba's this year, you'll get 2 things. You'll get a packet for like a 3-day pass, or a 7-day pass, or a 1-day pass. And whatever you get, we're selling a VIP area, which will get you beer, food, a jacket, a hat, a beer mug, a coffee mug, and some other things when you join us with the VIP part of it, instead of just a standard ticket. So you can take home a piece of Tomahawk and a tribute, an honorary tribute to honor Bubba Trumpman.
And Dean has talked about inclusion of the Legion Riders, VFW Riders, Rolling Thunder, the veterans groups, church groups.
Yeah.
Get them all involved. I got one question for you, Dean, though. The God must have his hand on you to keep that risen bike upright. Tell him what you do with that bike.
Probably some crazy stuff. I get pretty wild driving. Did you see what happened last year? Was you there when I made the straight stretch? Well, something happened. I don't know what, but anyway, the semi's behind me, so I know there's no bikes behind me. So I know nobody's coming up on my tail anytime soon. And the bike now will be 430 horse when you see it this time. Versus like 125 when you see it last time. The only reason why I did that is because I'm taking glass tubes coming down each side of the frame, and it's going to look like boiling water coming over the tubes, and it'll have a fog machine in them tubes looking like it's fogging out of there, like misting out, and that's going to say holy water on each side of the tubes. And then there'll be a switch right below the blinker that'll say Godspeed, and that's a nitrous. It'll be 280 horse aspirated, Pro Charger, not Supercharger. Pro Charger is a lot better deal, and 150 horse nitrous. So calculate it's 430 horse. And the bike looks totally different this time when you see it than you seen it last time. You'll think it's a whole different bike. But now I can't do the wheel stands with it because the fender flares, the fenders or the rear bags are 18-inch overstretched. The ones that were on it were 10. And when I did that last year, as soon as I put it in the air, when I let off the clutch, I thought, I'm gonna take them bags out. As soon as I come up there, first time I ever tried it. I thought that was pretty crazy, but it was fun, so I did it 3 more times. Right?
Thousands of people watching that parade,
Yeah,
thousands.
and when I got around the corner, so what happened, I blew the shifter linkage an hour before the parade. Tried to find parts for a custom built street light an hour before the parade. I blow the shifter right out of it. The whole linkage blew apart and the bolt that tightens it down was locked tight. We couldn't free it up. And I pulled the shifter linkage off and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to run this thing in 2nd gear in the parade. So Bubba's had a swap meet there, so I dug through their stuff for like, 35, 40 minutes? And I found one, put it together, made it to the parade. I get to the parade, I got like a 1/4 tank of gas. Not realizing this parade's 20 miles long.
20 miles.
Right? 20 miles.
Yeah.
It goes from the high school in Tomahawk all the way up through the countryside as far as you, I mean, I'm looking at the gas gauge when the light come on about 8 miles out of town that we still had to go. I'm getting really nervous. Because I'm the lead bike in front of the semi. And I'm thinking, God, if I run out of gas, this is going to be the most embarrassing moment of my life. Right? Well, I made it anyway. So last year, it does the same thing, but it's a linkage on the front side that blows out. So if you don't think Satan was trying to take me out of that parade, let me tell you something, he was after me, bigger than shit, but he didn't win. I went and found another linkage from a buddy of mine and took his back shifter off, where you got a shifter on the front and one on the rear. Well, I took his back one off, spun it around and flipped it on mine and pulled my whole linkage out of the bike. So I could get home and fix it again. But now it's all titanium, so hopefully this year it don't blow up or something. But anyway, it's a fun bike. It gets a lot of attention. We built it for a reason, to be able to let people be aware what Jesus Christ did for us on the cross. That's why it's crucifixion and resurrection. And if you've never seen it, you really need to. Is that right? Is it amazing? And the paint job will take you away. It'll put up chills up your arms, make your hair stand up on your neck and arms, and put a chill through your body like you never had. Am I correct?
You'll feel the presence of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Right, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Is he right?
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
It's a
So the
holy.
guy, the Luke that painted it, he didn't do it. He said there was a power behind him, God's Holy Spirit, God's Holy Ghost was on him.
Every day, he told me every day he worked on it, which it took him 4 months to do it, so he didn't work on it every day. He'd work on it, because he had to do other customers' bikes in between. And basically what he did, I had another painter start on it. He had it for 4 months. He got it painted white and painted a goofy looking cross on the front that wasn't even symmetrical this way. The cross, the piece was this way, on that white on one side, like that white on the other side, where the cross went through. And it went at an angle. It's supposed to be black and white, and here it turns out pearl blue. So he calls me on a Friday, and he says, I put the wow factor on that bike. I said, what'd you do now? He said, I wrapped a golden brown vine around it with green leaves. I'm like, what? It's supposed to be black and white, and it's pearl blue cross with what's supposed to be. It's supposed to be black and turn colors in the sun only. And it was blue as can be. And then he wrapped this golden brown vine all the way around it with like 4 leaves. And I said, shoot me a picture and send it to me. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting in my office. As soon as I seen it, I called him, I said, I'm on my way down there. It's a 4-hour ride down there. So I get down there about noon. Go to the shop, I called my cousin, told him, you need to meet me there. He said, what? I said, you ain't gonna believe what he did. He didn't do nothing like I asked. He didn't go by any of the drawings that we had done and made. And the thing's terrible. He said, what are you gonna do with it? I said, I'm gonna pick it up and get it out of there. I said, it's obviously that he can't follow directions.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't listen, or he's on his own agenda. And he was on his own agenda. No, and I've known him for 30 years. He's painted, he's done a lot of pinstriping and lettering for me on trucks and all kinds of stuff. And so I showed up there, and he said, oh, what are you doing, Dean? I said, I'm coming to get that. I said, how much is that goofy looking cross? How much did that cost me to have that put on it, that you painted? He said, $500. All right. I already paid him $3,500 at this point. So now I'm $4,000. And I got a white bike with a goofy looking cross on it. So we pick it up and we take it to my cousin's shop in Burlington, Wisconsin, which is far south as you go before you hit Illinois. And my cousin said, what are you going to do with it? I said, I'm not worried about him. I said, I'm leaving it up to the Holy Ghost, man. I said, something, come along. He said, Dean, I've called painters in California, New York, Florida. They're all a year and a half out, 2 years before they do anything with a mural. He says, you're screwed. You might as well just drive it with that ugly cross. I said, I'm not driving it with that. I can assure you one thing. I'll run it without a fairing before I put that on the bike. Lo and behold, that was on a Friday. I picked it up and we took the shop. Monday morning, a friend of my cousin's walks in the shop and hands him Luke Johnson Automotive Tattoos card, right? Yep. He's met Luke. He's 32 years old, fantastic guy, and an artist beyond belief. So he hands him his card and says, this guy can paint that bike. So my cousin calls me, said, Dean, you know this Luke Johnson Automotive Tattoos from Lake Wasota. I never heard of him.
Does he go with Spider?
No. Said, I never heard of him. So he gives me his phone number. I called him up. I said, Luke, I said, we got a bike that we had painted. It's all white. It's all base coated already. All we need is murals on it. And he chuckles and laughs. And he says, good luck with that. He said, I'm a year and a half out to paint a bike. And I thought, oh, I'm really screwed now. You know, so I told him, before you say no one more time, let me send you pictures that we had drawn up by artists that I already spent $1,500 on drawings and see what you think. I sent him the pictures. About 20 minutes later, he called me back and he said, I've been wanting to do a Christian themed bike for the last 10 years. Nobody's ever come to me with the idea or the money or both. He said, when can you have it here? I called my cousin and I said, whatever you're doing, you need to load all that stuff up in your truck and trailer and get it up to Lake Wasota. Because he worked out of Lake Wasota Auto Body, the old Cards Auto Body, right there on X. So we take it up there and sit down with him, go through everything. 4 months later, it gets done. And he said after the second month of working on it, there would be people 2 to 4 show up a day hearing about it. He said the week that he was finishing, it was nothing to have 10 to 20, 30 people a day stopping and watching what he's doing. He said by the end of it, it was nothing to have 30, 40 people just to stop by to see. Because he said it started coming alive about halfway through the paint job. That he felt, he said it was just the craziest feeling. And you've seen it, so you understand.
We're way over our time limit, and I know some people are shaking their heads like this is wonderful. Can you say, talk about the souls that have been saved with that machine?
Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, I was at the Tomahawk Fall Ride last year, and I wasn't sure where I was going to unload the bike because I trailered it there. So I got there and I took it up to the Bubba's campground, unloaded it there at Bubba's campground. While I unloaded it, Keith, Bubba Jr. come up and stuff and said, Dean, is there any chance you can bring this bike back tonight when we do our concerts and bring a bunch of other bikes back with you? I said, yeah, we got a bunch of bikes in town. So we brought like 20 bikes. And while I unloaded it, 2 different women, one about 32, one about 42, show up. While I got it parked, and I'm waiting for Zine, out of all people. You know how that is. We're waiting for Dave. I'll be there in 20 minutes. 2 hours later, I forgot to put the 0 on it. Sorry, Dave. Sorry. But anyway, so I unload the bike, and this gal walks around it, and her husband helped you put the flags on your bike. Well, anyway, she gets really inspired by the bike. It's like she wouldn't leave. So I said, I gotta go. I gotta get in the parade route. And the parade was at 5:30. So I take off, go. We get through the parade, we park downtown, everybody does. And I got the bike down there, here she shows up again with her husband. And she's walking around her bike, and when she wasn't walking around her bike, she was standing about 15, 20 feet away. And I just glance over every now and then and see her. I'm like, this is a little strange. And another gal was doing the same thing. So about 10 o'clock, she comes up to me when I was doing a walk around about it, explaining the story, and says, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, sure. She said, but can I take a walk with you for a minute? I said, maybe, you know, maybe. Depending on what you want to talk about. So I take a walk with her about a block down. I have my nephew staying on the bike. And I looked at her and I said, something's going on with you. The Holy Spirit has been on my butt all day to ask you what is really going on in your life. Because it ain't right. She says, you're right. She says, my husband, Wednesday before Tomahawk fall ride, told her that he was going to file divorce on her Monday after the Tomahawk fall ride. I said, all right, so what happened from there? She said, I went out and bought Thursday, I went out and bought a 357. It's sitting in my dresser nightstand. I wasn't planning on coming here tonight. And something drove me to come and drive my car, and he rode the bike, and I live in Stratford. It's a little ways from Tomahawk. I said, well, what do you plan on doing with the pistol? She said, I wasn't planning on coming here. I was going to put it under my chin and pull the trigger. All right? So I said, so what changed your mind? She said, that motorcycle, a message that God relates to that, and what it does to me when I walked around it, changed my mind and set my soul free. That's the first one. Second gal, 32 years old, was real intrigued by it. Same type thing, she walked around it quite a few times. When I had it downtown, she walked around it. When I showed back up Bubba's with it to load it back in the trailer and head to Manitowoc for a weight guy the next day. She walked around it twice, her and her boyfriend, and finally I looked at her and I said, you gotta tell me something's going on with you. You've looked at this bike like 12 times since I unloaded it, since I've been in the parade, and since I returned. Tell me what's going on. She looks at her boyfriend that was dating for a month and says, either you're gonna do one of two things. You're gonna either run away or stick with me when I'm fixing to tell this man what's going on in my life, the truth. So I said, all right, what is that? She said, my mother died 6 months ago of severe cancer at 63 years old. She's 32 years old. She said, I went into severe depression 3 months ago, and I come here tonight to watch the parade and everything, and I wasn't planning on coming. Something kept telling me that I needed to come because something special was here for me. So I said, all right, so what happened next? She said, every time you did that walk around and I walked around that bike, the bike comes alive at night when you take the LED light on, right? It comes alive. Have you seen it?
The eyes follow you around.
The eyes will make you step back.
Yeah.
If you walk up to the front fender in the dark on that thing and have LED light, when you step like that, I guarantee you, you go just like this. And I do it even. And I've been around a bike all the time. And every time I do it, the eyes just pierce right through you, don't they?
Yeah.
It's wild. Anyway, so I said, okay, so what happened from there? I said, so you told me your mother died 6 months ago, severe cancer. You went into severe depression 3 months ago. What happened next? She said, I went out and bought a 44 pistol last night. It's sitting in my dresser drawer, my nightstand dresser drawer. I was not planning on coming here today, but something kept telling me to come. It's sitting in my dresser drawer. My boyfriend is going home. I was going home alone and pulling the trigger. And this bike, through God, through the bike, through the story, saved my life.
Amen.
That's all I got.
Wow.